Greetings to respected teachers, esteemed judges, and my fellow students and audience. Today, we are presenting an innovative project focused on a question that many artists quietly struggle with. How do you improve when you don't have access to meaningful critique? Our project introduces a human-centered AI art critique system designed not to create art, but to help artists grow. This project is titled An AI-based art critic system for supporting creative development. It was developed as part of the innovation project for critical thinking and science of creativity by Team Critical Thinking 7, Class 1. Our team consists of 6 members from diverse academic and cultural backgrounds. Each of us contributed to different aspects of research, design, feasibility analysis, and validation, which allow us to approach this project from both technical and human perspectives. To ensure accountability and depth, responsibilities were clearly distributed. The project covered research, system design, feasibility studies, survey analysis, expert validation, and reporting, with overlapping roles in presentation, quality control, and creative work. This structure helped us to treat the project not as a concept pitch, but as a realistic, executable system design. Before we explain the system in detail, we want to ground this project in a real artistic experience. This short promotion video introduces the idea behind our human-centered art AI art critique system, not as a technology demo, but as a creative environment. Following the video, you'll hear feedback from an art hobbyist, representing our target users, artists who practice seriously, but outside formal institution.
In today's creative landscape, many artists work outside formal institutions. Hobbyist artists, self-taught learners, and exploratory practitioners often struggle to access timely, structured, and high-quality artistic feedback. Traditional critique methods, such as mentorship, studio environments, and academic juries, are frequently limited by cost, geography, and institutional access. As a result, many artists rely on online platforms that provide inconsistent, superficial, or subjective feedback. This gap highlights a clear problem: the lack of accessible, reliable, and educational critique tools that support artistic learning and creative development. In response, this project proposes a human-centered AI art critique system. Rather than generating or modifying artwork, the system redefines the role of artificial intelligence as a critique and guidance agent. The AI evaluates submitted artworks using established principles of art theory, technique, and composition. It provides structured, actionable feedback designed to support reflection, skill development, and deliberate practice. Importantly, creative authorship and decision-making remain entirely with the artist. The system supports learning without replacing human creativity. Ethical considerations are embedded at the core of the system. Privacy protection, intellectual property respect, and a strictly non-generative design are treated as fundamental requirements, not optional features. The project integrates user research, market analysis, feasibility studies, and iterative prototyping. Pre-launch survey results validate the existence of the problem and confirm strong interest among hobbyist artists. Findings also highlight user expectations regarding trust, affordability, and critique quality. Financial and technical analyses indicate that the system is feasible using existing technologies and sustainable through flexible pricing models. Overall, this project presents an ethically grounded alternative to generative AI art tools. It positions artificial intelligence as an enabling infrastructure for human creativity, supporting learning, reflection, and broader access to artistic growth in an increasingly AI-driven creative environment.
Hello everyone, my name is Kwitapala Pranishon, and I am hereby today to invite an art hobbyist named Pratita Lapranishon. Her main medium in art is color pencil, oil pastels, and mixed media work. In addition, she specializes in semi-realism and abstract work. Let's dive into the first question. Based on the report, do you believe this AI art critique system would meaningfully improve how artists practice, or would it function more as optional support, and if so, why?
I think of this kind of AI critique system would function more of a meaningful support rather than something that fully changes how artists work, because I see the biggest value in AI giving feedback on the more objective aspects of art, such as composition, color harmony, balance, and the overall structure. These are areas where clear technical feedback can genuinely help artists improve without interfering with their personal expression or their personal, wants in their art. For me, improvement often comes with understanding why something feels off visually, and AI feedback could help identify those issues more efficiently. So, while it wouldn't replace human critique or judgment, it does address, the need for accessible and consistent feedback, especially for artists who can't have regular access to like teachers or peers. Yeah.
That's a great input. Thank you. Let's move on to the next question. Do you think receiving structured AI-based critique in the way described would support or interrupt creative flow during art practice, and why?
I think the AI based critique would support my creative flow if it's positions as something the artist chooses to engage with rather than consistent real time, engagement. Because personally, I wouldn't want AI actively influencing my process while I'm creating, because that would intervene with my personal like intuition or my experimentation. But however, receiving feedback after like completing a piece or at certain checkpoints when I need them could enhance the flow by making practice more focused and more intentional. And instead of, second guessing myself or not knowing what to do, I can reflect on the specific feedback that the AI have given me about, my composition or my color choices, and apply that to my learning, to my next work. So in that sense, the critique becomes a part of my learning instead of a disruption.
Okay. So you would use the this AI tool as like guidance when you need it, but it wouldn't interrupt your creative flow because like you use it when you stumble upon like a objective problem. Does that
Yeah.
conclude? Yeah.
So, if the AI is, designed in a way that I can use it when I need it instead of it constantly having a real-time feedback, it would be more, beneficial for me, because I myself like to constantly experiment with different things. But if I'm in a spot where I need feedback on, certain parts of my process, then I think the AI would be very beneficial in providing me with, support and specific feedback.
Okay, that's an insightful input. Let's go on to the next question. If this tool existed today, would it change your own art practice in any noticeable way? If yes, to what extent? And if not, What do you think is missing?
If this AI tool existed today, I would likely change my art practice in a moderate but also meaningful way, because I wouldn't rely on it for creative direction or stylistic decisions, but I would use it as a feedback tool, especially when I'm practicing or trying to improve specific skills. Like, I often study artists like Claude Monet, and I aim to, train my eye for color compositions and, different ways to achieve that style. So the AI critique would help me point out technical gaps between what I'm trying to achieve and what the artist actually produced. And, it would give me feedback without me actually trying to copy my work or interfering with my creativity. And what's important to me is that AI stays in a supportive and non intrusive way. And I wouldn't want AI to generate or alter my art, but I would really appreciate you know, the tool as long as it respects this boundary and it has a clear practical value. Then yeah, I would definitely use it to, improve my art.
In addition to visual storytelling, we validated the concept through expert opinion from an artist hobbyist, someone who regularly creates art but does not have access to formal critique systems. Their feedback emphasized three key points. First, the system feels like a mentor, not a replacement. The critique helps clarify what to improve without interfering with personal style. Second, the structured feedback was seen as more useful than social media comments, which are often vague, emotional, and popularity driven. And third, the non generative nature of the system built trust because artwork remains fully owned, private, and untouched by AI generation. This feedback reinforced our core design decision. AI should support artistic judgment, not produce artistic output. The presentation will move from the problem and solution into feasibility, user validation, risk, recommendation, and finally, key report highlights and learning outcomes. Most artists, especially hobbyists and self-taught learners, rely on online platforms where feedback is often inconsistent, superficial, popularity-driven, or delayed. At the same time, existing AI tools focus almost entirely on generating art, not improving artists. This creates a clear gap. There is no widely available, structured, ethical AI system dedicated to critique. Our solution is an AI art critique agent. It acts as a virtual mentor or visual jury, but it does not generate or modify artwork. Instead, it provides structured technical and conceptual feedback, fully controlled by the artist. The core principle is simple. AI support creativity, does not generate it. Our vision is to make an expert level art critique accessible anytime and anywhere, while supporting creativity ethically. Our mission is to provide private, personalized, art theory-based feedback, supporting both traditional 2D and digital art practices, while preserving full artistic authorship. Our primary target users are hobbyist artists, self-taught learners, and students who want to improve but lack consistent critique. Now that we have introduced the vision, mission, and target users, we'll move on to how this idea holds up in reality, from feasibility to system structure. I'll now hand over to Lunta, who will walk us through the design rationale and feasibility of the project.
Thank you, Maki, and hello, everyone. I'm Lunta, and I'll be taking you through the next slides. So, Our project is an AI-based critique system that is designed to support artists and not replace them. It provides immediate technical feedback on composition, color, and balance, turning vague opinions into structured, actionable critique. Artists can adjust how strict the feedback is, as well as differentiate critique personas and ask follow-up questions. The system also tracks artistic progress over time while ensuring strong privacy and intellectual property protection. Market opportunity and business model. AI adoption among artists is growing rapidly, but most tools focus on creation rather than feedback. This creates a clear market gap between making and improving it. Our system addresses this gap using human-centered AI approach. The business model includes a freemium entry, monthly subscriptions, pay-per-critique options, and premium plans for advanced users. So for our feasibility overview, technically the approach is feasible using existing computer vision and language model in cloud-based system. Financially, it requires moderate startup costs with scalable subscription revenue. From a market perspective, surveys confirm strong user need with positive interest despite some prime sensitivity. And as for our SWOT analysis, it highlights the system's strengths in providing a structured educational critique and serving a wide range of artists. Key weaknesses include competition from existing AI tools and the need for continuous improvement. Opportunities exist in the growing creative community and increased use of digital platforms, while threats include ethical concerns and rapid technology change. And for our PESTO analysis, the PESTO analysis examines external factors affecting the project. Technological and social factors strongly support feasibility due to advancement in AI and increased demand for creative support tools. Legal and ethical considerations emphasize the importance of data privacy and intellectual property protection, while economic factors highlight cost sensitivity among other users.
Our survey showed that most respondents are hobbies or self-taught artists rather than professional, which indicate a strong need for learning support. Many artists experience creativity stagnations, especially when they are unsure how to improve their work currently. Feedback is mainly obtained from informal and unreliable sources such as friends, social media, or self-education. As a result, artists often receive critical that is vague, inconsistent, delayed, and non-actionable. In addition, feedback is frequently public, uncomfortable, or provided by people without sufficient artistic expertise, highlighting a clear gap for private, structure, and low knowledge critic. The majority of respondents rate the proposed AI tool as useful or very useful, showing strong validation for the concept. Importantly, there was no strong rejection when the AI was positioned as a critical tool rather than a content creator. Users clearly prefer structure theory-based and actionable feedback over generic praise. Many participants also noted that existing general AI tools feel shallow and lack art-specific depth. Overall, artists responded positively when AI was framed as a mentor or tool that supports learning rather than a replacement for human creativity. Despite the position, interest, major adoption barriers, including concerns about privacy, intellectual property measure, and trust in AI judgment, many artists are worried that their artwork could be used for AI training or generation without consent. Price sensitivity is also high, particularly among hobbies artists, leading to preference of free tiers, flexible subscription, or pay-per-critical models. However, The willingness to pay increases when critical is deep, personalized, private, and deeply valuable, emphasizing the importance of trust, transparency, and quality. The main advantages of our system include on-demand critic, an ethic AI approach, educational value, and artist-centered design, focus on improvement rather than automation. However, limitations remain such as AI subjectively, trust barriers, initial restriction to 2D art, and continued price sensitivity. To mitigate these risks, we propose a multi-layered critic system, human-in-the-loop testing, strong data privacy policy, flexible printing option, and clear usage guideline to ensure credibility, fairness, and user trust. For future development, we recommend expanding the system to include photograph, 3D art, and animation, allowing broader creativity use, integration with tools such as Photoshop, Procreate, and Blender will embed the assistant directly into existing workflows. Further, improvement in personalization and training efficiency will enhance critic quality, while ongoing ethical oversight and user education will help prevent overdependence on AI, ensuring it remains a supportive, creative assist rather than a replacement.
In conclusion, this project addresses a clear problem with a clear solution. By positioning AI as an art mentor rather than a creator, we demonstrate that ethical AI can meaningfully support artistic growth. We would like to thank our survey participants, expert reviewers, instructor, and team members for their contributions. To validate our assumptions beyond surveys, we incorporated expert opinions, including both artistic and AI technical perspective. These experts' reviews help confirm that the system is technically feasible, educationally valuable, and ethically aligned with artistic practice. We will now shift the focus from the product to what we have learned throughout this course. I'll pass I will now pass to Muad, who will present our learning outcomes from the critical thinking and academic writing courses and how they shape this project.
Thank you, Maki. And now this slide summarizes our group learning outcomes. By working collaboratively in a group of 8, we learned how to analyze complex problems by questioning assumptions and distinguishing facts from opinions. We applied critical thinking framework to evaluate arguments logically, and we engaged in a respectful discussion that considered different perspective and throughout effective collaboration, we improved our communication time management and problem-solving skills. Overall, this experience strengthened both our individual and collective judgment, helping us reach more informed and well-reasoned conclusions. Now we will see some personal learning outcomes from different team members, starting with Maki, the team leader.
Throughout the academic writing and critical thinking courses, I have deliberately developed the ability to work effectively as part of a team, write clear, comprehensive theses and reports, read, analyze, and utilize case studies as creative and strategic inputs, and manage teams and coordinate collaborative work. For academic writing, I work as a team member. This role introduced me to professional collaboration, where leaders assign tasks and team members are responsible for completing them effectively and on time. The course trained me to conduct in-depth research on a topic and present findings in a coherent and structured manner. For example, I researched ocean robotics research methodologies and presented survey-based findings related to this field. For critical thinking, I've learned how to manage a team, including distributing workloads, resolving issues through meetings, and following up on team members' progress. I've learned how to read and apply case studies effectively. My favorite case study was how Pixar fostered innovation, which demonstrated me how allowing raw ideas to develop and trusting team members' abilities can lead to outstanding outcomes. This course provided me with a platform to showcase work that I deeply value. This project has been an idea of my mind since 2023, and it was finally given the opportunity to be explored and developed. I've learned that effective leaders place the right people in the right roles. I apply this principle by assigning team members tasks aligned with their strengths and areas of familiarity. Coming to an end, I would like to sincerely thank Mr. Wallace for teaching these courses and coaching us how to become a better speaker and innovators. I also thank my teammates in the critical thinking course for their hard work, cooperation, and commitment in completing the weekly reports, presentation, and the innovative project.
Thank you so much, Maki. And now we will see the Khawla, the teaching assistant of this group.
My name is Khawla Issa, and today I want to share my learning outcome from academic English and critical thinking courses. So throughout these courses, I developed the ability to critically analyze information, evaluate arguments from multiple perspectives, and apply logical reasoning to real-world problems. I also improved my academic writing and communication skills, including structuring ideas clearly, using appropriate academic vocabulary, and supporting claims with evidence. These skills were effectively applied in our innovation project on an AI art assistant, where we identify a practical problem, assessed existing solutions, and proposed an innovative idea based on critical evaluation, research, and clear academic presentation. Thank you so much.
And thank you so much, Khawla. And now we will see my personal learning outcome.
Hello everyone. Throughout this journey, I have developed a wide range of skills that I have significantly shaped my academic and personal growth. This experience has not only improved my language abilities, but also changed the way I think and approach problems. To begin with, academic English writing was a key foundation of this course. I learned how to organize ideas clearly, write in a structured and formal way, and support arguments with appropriate evidence over time. I became more confident in expressing my thought in English, especially in academic and professional context. Another major outcome was the development of critical thinking skills. I learned how to analyze information more deeply, question assumptions, and evaluate different viewpoints before reaching conclusions. This helped me move from passive learning to active thinking, allowing me to make more logical and well-reasoned decisions. Finally, the innovative project brought everything together. It required creativity, teamwork, problem solving, and effective communication. This project challenged me to think innovatively while also being realistic and structured in my approach. In conclusion, this journey has strengthened my academic writing, critical thinking, and problem solving abilities. These skills will be extremely valuable for my future studies and professional career. Thank you.
And now we will see the Adam's learn outcome.
Hello everyone, Adam, and this is the video outcome of critical thinking in mining classes. So this year I learned that the grades are isn't written alone. Academic writing gives structure. The blueprints learns how to build a clear thesis and support it with evidence. Critical thinking gave material. It taught me to question everything. Me, own ideas first. In our team, we didn't just share opinions. We tested them. We asked, is this logic sound or is this source valid? That group discussion was messy, but it was necessary. It turned a simple idea into a strong, resilient, and that could handle real scrutiny. My biggest personal lesson, my first idea is rarely my biggest idea. I learned the value of having my thinking challenged. It's not about being right, it's about finding what. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next time.
And thank you so much, Adam. And now we will move to Luntha personal learning outcome.
Hello, I'm Lunta Lovemore, and this is my takeaways for the academic writing and the critical thinking course, and basically what I've learned throughout this period of about 1 year from this course. First of all, academic writing really equipped me with the skills to be able to express my ideas on how to improve things, to write a thesis, to write a resume, and all that, which are really important skills on a day-to-day basis. And then once we got into critical thinking, we had now the ability to analyze these ideas that we have and come up with ways to implement them and, to plan through, for example, the innovative project that we had to work on as a team. Speaking of a team, also, it has really assisted us to figure out how to work together, because in the real world, you're always going to have people around you, and it's very important that you're able to collaborate to build something bigger and better. Yeah, thank you.
And thank you, Luntha. And now we will move to Amani's personal learning outcome.
Hello everyone, this is Amani from Group 7 and this is my output about the critical thinking. In this course, I learned that critical thinking is about thinking before judging. Instead of accepting things right away, I learned to ask questions, look for reasons, and understand different points of view. One important thing I learned is to analyze ideas and arguments. I can now tell the difference between facts and opinion, and I try to think more clearly before making decisions. This helped me not only in my class, but also in my daily life. Working as a team member taught me how to listen to others, share my thoughts, and respect different opinions. I realized that discussing ideas with my team helped me understand things better and improve my thinking. I become more confident, expressing my ideas and thinking more deeply. It helped me grow as a student and as a person. The critical thinking course was a valuable experience in my life as a student, and it will really be helpful to me in the future. Thank you.
From this point, the slides summarize key sections of our final written report. This includes market analysis and identification of art critique gap, feasibility studies covering technical, financial, and market viability, pistol and SWOT analyses, system architecture and implementation logic, pre-launch survey design and analysis, risk assessment and mitigation strategies. Rather than reading these slides in detail, we want to emphasize that the report demonstrates this project is not just conceptual, but implementable using existing technologies, with clear constraints around ethics, privacy, and non-generative design. Finally, to close this presentation, we'll reflect on the case studies from this course that form the foundation of our innovative thinking. I'll now hand back to Lunta and other members who explain how these case studies informed and supported the development of our project.
So for case studies covered, throughout the course we analyzed several case studies focused on creativity and innovation. These included innovators' DNA, plant opportunism, and how Pixar fosters collective creativity. We also had weird rules of creativity, creativity step by step, the flair and focus of successful futurists, life is work, and weird rules that spark innovation. Each case study examined creativity from different perspectives, including individual habits, organizational culture, structured processes, and long-term innovation thinking. Now, from this slide, we're seeing learning from 3 case studies. From these case studies, the 3 key learnings stood out were: first, the Pixar's case study showed that creativity improves through structured, constructive feedback and collaboration rather than individual genius. Second, creativity step by step emphasized that creativity is a skill developed through practice, discipline, iterative improvement, not sudden inspiration. And third, life is work highlights the meaningful creative output comes from consistent effort, reflection, and learning over time. Together, these studies reinforce the idea that creativity can be supported through systems, habits, and feedback. Thank you.
This slide summarizes our team observation and analysis from the case study we examined during the course, which emphasized the importance of structured feedback, deliberate observation, and learning through iteration. Across the case, successful organization did not rely on intuition or speed alone. Instead, they create systems that transformed the experience into an actionable insight through reflection, expert evaluation, and controlled experimentation. Our team observed that growth was strongest when individuals were given autonomy but supported by clear frameworks, an informed critique rather than vague guidance. This understanding directly influenced our innovative project. As a highlight, how progress, whether in organization or creative practice, depend on access to timely, structured, and credible feedback, which ultimately inspired the design of our AI assistant as a monitor-like system rather than a replacement for human creativity.
And on these slides, we present our team's observation and analyze about innovation based on the 3 boxes solution. First, from analysis, we agreed that innovation starts with questioning and exciting ideas. As a team, we noticed that real progressions often comes from discomfort, risk-taking, and looking at problem with fresh eyes. Comfort and routine way feel safe, but they can limit creativity, new perspective, and the courage to challenge old rules. Help individual and organizations stay adaptable and future ready. Moving to analyze, our discussion focused more on change and growth. Over time, we observed that innovation requires letting go of outdated habits and past success. What worked before can something become an obstacle? True innovation happens when we balance managing the present, forgetting that what no longer serves us, and actively building the future. Overall, the 3 boxes solution helped us understand that innovation is not accidental. It is a continuous process and involve courage, open-mindedness, and willingness to involve. By embracing discomfort and change, organization can avoid the success trap and remain competitive in the long term. Thank you so much, everyone.
So, this slide brings together our team's observation from the course called Case Studies on the Weird Rules of Creativity and Innovators' DNA, where we learned that creativity doesn't thrive in comfort or rigid structures, but through discomfort, questioning, and experimentation. Across our analysis, we observed that innovation often comes from breaking traditional rules, encouraging diverse perspectives and allowing ideas to develop through mastering rather than predictability. Leaders and teams that foster creativity do so by asking better questions, observing deeply, experimenting continuously, and connecting ideas across discipline. These insights strongly influence our innovative project as they reinforce the idea that artists, much like innovators, need structured environments that encourage exploration while providing meaningful guidance. This directly informs our decision to design the AI assistants as a mentor-like system that supports experimentation, challenges assumption, and help artists grow without restricting their creative freedom. Thank you so much.
To close, this project reframes the role of AI in creative work. Instead of replacing artists, it strengthens judgment, reflection, and learning. Our system proposes a future where AI becomes invincible support. Our system proposes a future where AI becomes an invincible support structure for human creativity, rather than a shortcut that erodes it. Thank you.